I really wanted to wear glasses for this video, but just I can't get the reflection right, so it's not happening. No glasses. We can have mini ears instead. Hey guys, it's Connie, aka Noodlerella. So today I'm doing a bit of a self-indulgent video because I want to show you guys my pin collection. I've had so much trouble getting ready to film this video. I got up so early to film it all. I was so excited. I've got all my pins neatly organized and ready to go, and then I realized I didn't have a single SD card. None of my batteries were charged, so I'm going on one battery charge, and I'm just hoping I can get through it in time. I had to do this whole like Amazon Prime Now thing. It's all very boring and tedious, but I had a very stressful morning. That's all I wanted you to know. So some of you guys who watch my videos will know that I'm quite the avid pin collector. When I say quite avid, I'm borderline obsessed. So I guess I started collecting pins about 4 years ago at Disneyland Paris, but I didn't really realize that's what I was doing. I just liked the pins. That was my favorite part of going to the parks. And since then, it's become like this whole thing. I like to do pin trading when I'm at Disney parks, but I also like to collect non-Disney pins. So I thought I'd just bite the bullet and show you guys my pin collection, and that's what we're doing today. So I'm going to start with my non-Disney pins. I think that's a good place to begin. I keep looking down here because I've got my little box. I keep all of my pins in this Mary Poppins lunchbox, which I got at D23 earlier this year. So I'm going to be a bit cheeky. I'm actually going to start with my own pins. These are the pins that I had designed and I sell. The first ones are the Rosewood Hall pins. These ones are not actually for sale, these were exclusives. But there was one for each house colour, so this is Stratus, which is the house I'm in, and Conch. There's also an Ivy, which is purple. So the Rosewood Hall pins were actually exclusives for anyone who came on the first Rosewood Chronicles book launch. I didn't want it to be just like a classic book tour. I wanted it to be something special, and I thought, what's more special to me than pins? So I thought everyone would get a special house pin. So you either got Stratus, Conch, or Ivy, and I took a Stratus home with me because that's my house. Which is probably a good time to also say that my book has been out for about 2 weeks now, so you can pretty much get it anywhere in England. It's not published worldwide currently, but I know it's also out in Australia. So if you're in America, you are going to have to sit tight and be a bit patient, or you can try and order from Amazon UK. I know a few people have managed to do that. I'm sure those Rosewood Hall pins will eventually be available, but currently they were just tour exclusives. So these are the other pins that I sell. It's a soft peach one. I'm really into the gold enamel on pins. I much prefer it to black enamel. And Pumpkin Princess. This was designed by my friend Abby, and this is actually the first piece of Rosewood Hall merch that we're ever really selling, because Pumpkin Princess is a book reference. It's what somebody calls Lottie. And this is the me pin. The only trouble with gold enamel is it makes it a little bit hard to show on camera, but hopefully you can see this one. Okay, next up I want to show you guys my Sugar Bones and my Just Peachy pins. Just Peachy is a store run by my friend April, and she sells a lot of kind of Disney inspired pins. So she has this gorgeous castle, which is probably her most popular pin. A little space shooter gun, which is one of my favorite ones. And then she's got this little mini bow. Is that a mini bow or is it a Daisy Duck bow? And a little honey. But her shop is absolutely incredible. I know that you guys would love those pins, so I will link that below as well. Another shop I absolutely love, and I'm actually part of the pin club where you get a special exclusive pin every month, is Sugar Bones. So these are just a few of the Sugar Bones ones. This is Raja, Not a Prize to Be Won. This was like a candy skull one. Her ones are often black enamel, but I do really like them. Then next up is some of my favorite pins. These are my Melanie Martinez pins because, as you know, I'm quite a big Melanie Martinez fan. So I have her sippy cup pins. So the sippy cup pin comes with this little like angel teddy bear, comes with a sippy cup, as you would imagine, and a little bottle sippy cup. And it should also come with a knife, but I lost the knife. So I'll link below to where you can buy my pins, where you can buy the Just Peachy pins, where you can buy the Sugar Bones pins, and then also where you can buy my friend Liam, who some of you will know from my videos. He sells these Cosmic Clefable pins, so he's going to be doing more of these, but this was the launch of his store. What's sweet is that they all come with likes and dislikes. So Cosmic Clefable's likes are finger painting and the dislikes are broccoli. And I just feel like when you add little things like that to your pins, it makes it special, you know? So there's a company in England called Tofu Cute, and they hopped on the enamel pin badge thing, as they very much should have. And they sell their little mascot. There he is, the little Tofu Cute mascot. And I was lucky enough to also get one of the exclusive Gudetama pins. It was supposed to be in a set, but I went into the Tofu Cute shop and I bought a bunch of their pins, and they let me have this, which is really great because it's like a super exclusive. And another little Gudetama. and my pizza pin, which I got in LA. Okay, so that's all of my non-Disney pins, and I'm definitely very partial to the ones I designed myself and the Rosewood Hall pins because they're just very special. Oh, and I will link below to where you can buy the book if you would like to. Right, it's time for the Disney pins. So I'm really keen on collecting the pins of like the old school Disney animals. So anything Bambi related, anything Lady and the Tramp related, anything Aristocrats, anything 101 Dalmatians, anything Rescuers. The Rescuers are very rare. It's really difficult to find any Rescuers merch in the West, even though they have a lot in Japan. So these guys are very special to me. This is a Bianca and Bernard, and they're absolutely teeny tiny. I'm always so scared I'm going to lose them. I got Bianca and Bernard at D23, and honestly it was one of those moments where I saw the pins on a board and I was like, I have to have these right now. So these are my favourite Bambi pins. You got Bambi and Fawn, and then just Bambi on his own, and both of those are from D23 as well. So next I want to show you guys my Star Wars and my Marvel pins. I'm really into Star Wars, so when Disney acquired Star Wars, it was kind of like two of my favourite things in the whole world combining, and obviously I was very much looking forward to the pins. This is my absolute favourite Star Wars pin I own. So it's Han and Leia, and it's I love you, I know. I kind of hate this pin. It's so ugly, but it's the only Kylo Ren pin I have. So I wanted to combine my collection of Lilo and Stitch pins with my Star Wars collection, and I got the dark side and the light side Yodas. So we got this guy, and then this guy who always makes me laugh. I feel like that is the funniest thing. The little quote, it says, "In time you will call me master." And then I love Captain America. I think he is a great guy, and I love Chris Evans. So I've got this Captain America pin that just says freedom. I just thought it was so funny. Okay, these next ones I want to show you are exclusive. So these are special pins that you can only get in one place, one time. The first one is this Stitch pin with Scrump. I got this one at D23, and you could only get it if you spent like over $50 in the Disney Dream store. And I think Abby very cheekily managed to get two of them because she is a shopping genius. The next one I got almost exactly a year ago, which is a Monsters University pin that you could only get at the Pixar studio itself. So this one is very special to me. And the last one is the D23 Expo Minnie Mouse car pin. I managed to kind of skip the queue. I don't remember the full story, but basically we all managed to get one of these pins, and it was like one of the proudest moments of my life. There was a very short amount of time when I wanted to collect Cinderella pins, and I still kind of do. Cinderella's always going to be very special to me, hence my YouTube name. So these are my three favorite Cinderella pins that I have. Carriage. I love these so much. These were Disneyland Paris exclusives, and you got one for each princess, and I got a Cinderella one. So I'm not going to spend too much time on these next ones, but these are all my trading pins. So these are all ones that I have doubles of, or ones that I just don't really care very much about. So I've got a Monsters University one, a tiny little chip, this mini one, which is actually really cute, and I don't know if I do want to get rid of it. Oh, that would look so cute, like right there. This Daisy Duck. This one is a dupe. This one is a dupe. It's my Tiana. This little Cinderella one, just because I just don't care for it. Like, I've got so many nice Cinderella pins, and this one just doesn't... It's not as nice as the others I've got. And this Tiana one. So it's like this little kind of chibi-ish Tiana. And then you've got to have a classic, just like Walt Disney World pin. So I got the one with the little Tinkerbell that's sort of flying on it. Another trading pin, this little Duffy the Bear. Then when I was in Japan, they had these cat pins where you didn't know which one you were going to get, which always makes it way more fun. Any kind of pin collection thing which involves not knowing which pin you're going to get, that is what I live for. Mystery boxes. So I was very lucky, and I got a Mochi from Big Hero 6, and I got a Diana from Alice in Wonderland. I honestly could not have asked for two cuter pins. I love them so much. This is another trading pin. If you're not familiar with trading, basically you'll walk around the parks with a bunch of pins that you're happy to trade, and if you see a pin on a cast member that you like, or even on another guest that you like, you can go over and ask if they want to trade. Cast members have to trade the pin you ask for, but obviously guests don't have to. So what I tend to do is I'll wear like a big set of dungarees and just cover them in pins that I'm happy to trade, and I'll just try and get a completely new set by the end of the day. And then these are just some miscellaneous pins. Lilo and Stitch is one of my all-time favorite Disney films, and Nani in particular is a very important character who does not quite get enough recognition for how well written she is. Could write a whole essay on that, really. So I have this Lilo and Stitch pin that just says Ohana means family. So this is very special to me simply because it's one of my favorite Lilo and Stitch pins. Some of you might know that I also have a bit of obsession with hot sauce. I used to not be able to eat spicy food, and recently over the past year or 6 months, I would say, I've really gotten into spicy food. Hercules is also one of my favorite Disney films. So when I saw this pin, it was literally like they'd taken two of my favorite things in the whole world, Hades and hot sauce, and just shoved them together. I love this pin. And then I found out it's from a collection where it's bottles with characters, and this one's the cherry soda one. I would definitely love to have that whole collection. I don't know how rare they are. So if any of you guys see any of them online anytime, let me know. Then I've got the standard up grape soda pin, which I think everyone in the world has. And then a Pocahontas pin, which is kind of the only Pocahontas pin I have, which is why I have her, because I was sick of not owning a Pocahontas. And then finally, let's move on to the lanyard. So these are all of my Tsum Tsum pins. Tsum Tsum pins are one of the types of pins where it's a mystery set every time, you don't know which ones you're gonna get. And then I also put on some of my Lady and the Tramp pins, because I got Tramp in a mystery set, and then I managed to find Lady when I was at D23. And I love this mini pin too. So this is very much just like an aesthetic pin lanyard for when I'm walking around the parks. So yeah, the pins that I'm definitely most drawn to are the old school animals like Bambi, Lady and the Tramp. So this is my Russian doll / Disney princess lanyard. So this is for when I'm wearing like a pinky princessy outfit around the Disney parks. I was lucky enough to get Mulan and Tiana in this mystery pack, who are two of the best princesses in my opinion. And then I also collect these Russian doll pins, which are also from mystery packs. I think the Belle is my favourite from that set. I just think she's such a nicely designed pin. Then finally, I want to show you guys my very special Cinderella pins. This was for the 50th anniversary, and it's part of the Classics collection. And I got this about 2-3 years ago on my birthday. Obviously, as I've said, Cinderella is one of my absolute favourite Disney princesses. So the only other thing that is missing is my super duper exclusive, very, very special, only 100 of them were ever made, Disney Marvel pins, which I got at D23, and I have 2 sets of them. And sadly I can't show them to you because they are at my parents' house for safekeeping because I was worried about damaging them. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, that is my entire pin collection. And maybe you've gotten a little bit of a peek into what an obsessive I am. Oh, I'm so glad I finally showed you guys my pins. I've been wanting to do that for ages. So again, I will link all of the shops below that I've mentioned, as well as a place to where you can get a copy of the book. If there's any pin in particular that you're curious about, just let me know and I'll try and remember where I got it from. And I said this on Twitter the other day, but if you're ever at one of my meet and greets or a tour event, please do feel free to bring your pins so we can talk about them. So of all the pins I showed, my favourites are definitely my Stratus Rosewood Hall pin and my Pumpkin Princess pin, simply because these have such just weighty significance in my life. Pumpkin Princess basically being the first bit of Rosewood Chronicles merch that I've ever sold, and then Stratus is my house at Rosewood Hall, so that's very special. So you can quite easily deduce why these are important to me. And hopefully there will be much more Rosewood Chronicles merch to come in the future, but until then, you'll simply have to read the book. And I'll see you all soon!